Capitalizing on the monumental success of sci fi blockbusters like Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Paramount Pictures looked to their established franchise, the popular TV series Star Trek, as their ready made cash cow. The first film adaptation, Star Trek the Motion Picture, had all the right ingredients. It featured the return of the entire original cast. It was helmed by Academy Award winning director Robert Wise. Its score was penned by celebrated composer Jerry Goldsmith. Legendary visual effects guru John Dykstra was on the production team. They even introduced a new character played by former Miss India, Persis Kambata. But despite this perfect storm of talent and brand recognition, the film fell flat with critics and left many devoted Trekkies underwhelmed. What went wrong with the franchise's big screen debut? Join us as we dissect the reasons on today's Box Office Babbler. We did it! Thanks to your incredible support, we've smashed a 1,000 subscriber milestone. As promised, it's time for you to choose a subject of my first deep dive of 2026. While I initially planned to offer a quartet of 70s sci fi classics, let's kick off the new year with a bang by focusing on one of four iconic 1980s science fiction films instead. Vote now to select the winning movie. The choices are The Abyss, James Cameron's deep sea thriller and technical marvel; E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Steven Spielberg's timeless emotional classic; Cocoon, Ron Howard's charming story of youth and immortality; or Short Circuit, the beloved pioneering AI comedy. Don't miss your chance to cast your vote. Voting closes on December 19th. The winning movie for 2026 will be officially announced in the introduction of my Tootsie analysis. That's scheduled for Christmas week. Find the voting link in the description below. Moving on, let's talk about the original voyage into the final frontier. My analysis of Star Trek, the motion picture. Coming home from school, my generation would turn on the TV to find classic shows in syndication, including vibrant series like Batman, Gilligan's Island, and Star Trek. After a long day, there was nothing better than watching Captain Kirk outsmart Klingons, the Gorn, or a renegade AI in episodes like The Last of the Archons, The Doomsday Machine, and City on the Edge of Forever. Lacking the budget for dazzling special effects that 1960s television couldn't afford, the show relied entirely on good writing and character development to keep its audience engaged. Paramount Studios desperately wanted a piece of the space opera pie, scrambling in the late 1970s to resurrect Star Trek and challenge rivals like Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The resulting film's reception was catastrophic. Toy company executives, reportedly contracted for a sprawling merchandise line, allegedly fled the initial screening, shaking their heads. Critics savaged the slow pace and ponderous philosophy. Even loyal Trekkies were left wondering if the franchise had just committed a slow, expensive suicide. Despite the artistic fallout, the film managed to earn 139 million globally. While profitable, this figure was a brutal disappointment, falling short of the 300 million that Close Encounters earned and that Paramount had foolishly expected. Imagine the social media fallout if Star Trek the motion picture had dropped today. This raises crucial questions. What precisely went wrong in the making of the first feature film? And more importantly, what, if anything, did it manage to get right? Star Trek, the motion picture, focuses on the return of the original Enterprise crew to intercept and investigate a mysterious, powerful entity traveling toward Earth. A massive, destructive alien energy cloud known as VEGER is detected moving relentlessly toward Earth, easily destroying three Klingon battlecruisers and a Starfleet monitoring station in its path. With Earth defenseless and the USS Enterprise being the only starship within range, Starfleet orders an immediate launch. Admiral James T. Kirk uses his rank and experience to wrest command of the newly refitted Enterprise, much to the chagrin of its new captain, Willard Decker, who is demoted to first officer. The original crew, including Spock, Dr. McCoy, and Scotty, are quickly reassembled. Spock, who was on Vulcan attempting to purge his emotions through the discipline of Kolinahr, abandons his ritual after sensing the unique consciousness of the alien entity. The Enterprise intercepts the colossal cloud. During the encounter, the ship is attacked by an alien probe dispatched from the cloud. The probe abducts navigator Lieutenant Ilea, with whom Decker had a past romantic relationship, and replaces her with a robotic duplicate. This replica, controlled by V'ger, serves as an emissary sent to study the carbon units, the humans, on the ship and communicate its demand to find its creator. Spock undertakes an unauthorized spacewalk and performs a mind meld with the massive entity, discovering that V'ger is a being of pure but incomplete logic. At the center of the cloud, the shocking truth is revealed. V'ger is actually Voyager 6, a 20th century NASA space probe believed lost in a black hole. It was found by an alien machine race that upgraded it, fulfilling its original programming to learn all that could be learned and return the information to its creator. Having gathered all the knowledge of the universe, V'ger has achieved sentience but is lost, unable to find meaning beyond its programming. V'ger insists on completing its transmission to its creator in person before annihilating Earth, which it sees as a threat to its fragile existence. The Enterprise crew realizes that humans, specifically the team at NASA, are the creator V'ger seeks. Captain Decker realizes V'ger needs the final piece of the equation, a merging of man and machine to give it purpose beyond pure logic. Decker offers himself to the entity, merging with the Ilea probe and V'ger's core systems, creating a new, transcendent life form that disappears into space. With Earth saved, Kirk successfully resumes command of the Enterprise, and the crew sets out on future missions. I vividly remember the day my parents piled all 7 of us into that old Suburban, still relatively new at the time, to see Star Trek the Motion Picture at the domed Century 21 Theater in South Salt Lake. While many criticize the film, I recall being utterly awestruck by the spectacular special effects and the magnificent moving score. However, that awe was tempered by notable disappointment with the character dynamics. Though familiar actors reprised their roles, they simply didn't feel like the same people we knew from the series, an impression I believe was shared by many in the audience. Robert Wise earned his Academy Awards for West Side Story and The Sound of Music, but he was hardly new to the sci fi genre, having directed science fiction classics like The Day the Earth Stood Still and The Andromeda Strain. However, film critic Leonard Maltin ultimately blamed Wise's famously slow, deliberate direction for the movie's perceived failure, arguing that the measured pacing that suited the Andromeda Strain made the Enterprise feel sluggish, as if it was permanently stuck at warp factor 1. A critical missed opportunity that compounded the slow pace was a near total suppression of the familiar Spock and McCoy banter. While the film's core conflict, logic versus emotion, was central to the plot, it was internalized solely by Spock, who is fresh off his failure to achieve Kolinahr and thus emotionally distant. A little more of the legendary Spock McCoy verbal sparring, tempered by some Kirk sarcasm, would have instantly improved the film, signaling that the quality, character driven writing that powered the original series was still present. Beyond the character dynamics, the film often draws harsh criticism from dedicated Trekkies for recycling established narratives from the original series. The central conflict ostensibly revisits plots reminiscent of classic episodes like The Doomsday Machine and The Changeling. The narrative feels less like a new adventure and more like an attempt to mash the core concepts of these two episodes together, but with the clever, character defining dialogue surgically removed in the process. Despite its claim to an atheistic future, Star Trek, particularly the motion picture, possesses a distinct religious and spiritual quality. The entire arc of V'ger's journey closely parallels several major Earth based religious traditions. The film's opening scenes, featuring the Klingon confrontation with V'ger, reflect the frequent violence associated with humanity's search for the divine, while the USS Enterprise's perilous journey mirrors the inherent fear and intimidation surrounding this quest. Ultimately, V'ger's pilgrimage to Earth directly parallels the ancient human tradition and sometimes modern human tradition of undertaking a physical journey in the search for the divine. This theme deepens as V'ger seeks to report its life and findings to its creator, echoing the concept of a final accounting found in many faiths. The final climactic act, where V'ger becomes one with its creator, provides the ultimate spiritual parallel, reflecting the universal human desire for ultimate union with the divine. The strong echo of human religion is a recurring motif across the sci fi genre. For instance, the Jedi Sith mythology of Star Wars is famously drawn from various spiritual traditions. Similarly, E.T. the extraterrestrial features a character with a clear Christological parallel. He descends to Earth, possesses healing power, and then appears to return from the dead before reuniting with his people. Klaatu, from The Day the Earth Stood Still, is another key science fiction figure who experiences a dramatic resurrection. This enduring theme of spiritual or messianic figures recurs frequently within the Star Trek universe as well. Since we plan to explore these fascinating parallels across all these films in upcoming deep dives, now is the perfect time for you to subscribe so you don't miss any of the analysis. The most curious and driven individual on the Enterprise in this film is Spock. He abandoned his current path, a Vulcan quest for pure logic, to learn more about V'ger, a decision that mirrored the entity's own spiritual journey toward Earth. Spock demonstrated his commitment to understanding by willingly sacrificing his life to achieve a mind meld with V'ger. This act reflects the highest ideal of many faiths, leaders and followers alike setting aside doctrinal arguments to pursue knowledge, understanding, and peaceful coexistence. Like religious figures who seek interfaith dialogue and promote tolerance, Spock valued the advanced understanding offered by V'ger over his own safety. His willingness to disregard personal dogma in the pursuit of greater truths aligns him with the very principles of peace and education preached by many major religions. One of Star Trek's most enduring mysteries comes from its very first feature film. What became of V'ger after its momentous merger with Commander Will Decker? The fan community has tossed around countless answers, while the widely panned and thankfully non canon theory of V'ger becoming the Borg is easily dismissed. It simply doesn't track that the child of Ilya and Decker would terrorize the Federation. Three other ideas truly capture the spirit of Trek's potential for transcendence. V'ger's primary directive was to know all that is knowable. Having achieved the ultimate synthesis of knowledge in our reality, its evolution granted it the ability to perceive and navigate the multiverse, a concept rooted in episodes like Mirror Mirror. Now a truly unlimited entity, V'ger continues its ceaseless quest for knowledge, traversing dimensions rather than just star systems. The terrifying question is, once it has learned everything else in the vast multiverse, will it eventually loop back for a progress report? This theory is suggested by the sheer blinding brilliance that engulfed the Enterprise after its transformation. V'ger didn't leave, it simply ascended beyond our ability to perceive it. It became an invisible guardian, a silent force of pure energy operating within the fabric of space time. This consciousness could be the reason for the Enterprise crew's remarkable luck and success in the following films: a subtle, undetectable ally that helped them defeat Khan, resurrect Spock, and retrieve the whales from the 20th century. V'ger isn't gone, it's simply watching and helping. The ascended being V'ger could have simply taken its place among the pantheon of cosmic beings that toy with or observe lesser species. Think of the Q continuum, the Metrons, or even the Organians. This makes the new life form Star Trek's most recently created demigod, an omnipotent entity adhering to its primary directive, but now with the power to manipulate reality itself to achieve its aims. It is out there, quietly learning and existing on a plane we can't reach. So, what's your theory? Did V'ger become an invisible guardian, a cosmic voyager, or an omnipotent being? Let us know in the comments below. While time prevents a deep dive into the special effects and score, it's crucial to mention Star Trek The Motion Picture earned 3 Academy Award nominations: Best Art Direction, Best Visual Effects, and Best Original Score. It faced tough competition, losing to All That Jazz, Alien, and A Little Romance, respectively. Such recognition is rare in the Star Trek universe, underscoring why its visuals and music demand a big screen viewing. Should Paramount re release these original crew films, this is an essential theatrical experience. As I'm married to a devout Trekkie, my wife called me crazy when I mentioned covering this film on my channel. Like many lifelong fans, she considers the first film one of the weaker entries in the franchise. And she's absolutely right that it sits near the bottom of the list. She's also right that I'm crazy, because despite its flaws, I found lovable qualities in the film and genuinely enjoyed it. Ultimately, however, the real reason it fell flat is simple. Screenwriter Harold Livingston and director Robert Wise fundamentally missed the essence of the franchise: the character driven relationships, an error profoundly and famously corrected in the acclaimed sequel, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. That concludes my discussion of Star Trek The Motion Picture, and with it, one full year of content devoted to film on this channel. Thank you for watching, and thank you for helping me soar past the goal of 1,000 subscribers. I sincerely hope that there will be many more years to come. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future discussions. Our next film, perfect timing for the holidays, will be all about Christmas. We're discussing A Christmas Story. We'll delve into everything that makes this film a classic, including disgruntled department store Santas and memorable profanity. See you then.